What is up everybody, my name is Tonny and I'm here with another Warframe video, and in this video we will be looking at Revenant Prime. So this build will be a non-Helminth, non-Archon build, and this is the Nuke build here. I have Growing Power for the extra ability strength, Power Drift for more ability strength, Stretch if you're going to be using the boosted range and damage as well, Fleeting Expertise for the extra efficiency on the energy, Streamline for energy and efficiency, Prime Flow for more energy, Augur Secrets for ability strength, Energy Conversion for ability strength, Amar's Hatred for ability strength, and maybe some armor just in case. Umbral Intensify for the extra ability strength. For the Arcanes, I have Grace and Energize. With this build alone, you should not run out of energy. In fact, you can literally AFK for probably 1 minute or two. For the second build, I have the Minion build. So this actually utilizes more on the Mesmer skin as well as the Enthrall. So the build here I have is Brief Respite. Since you'll be casting Enthralls, I have here almost maximum duration for the Enthralls. And then I have Thrall Pack to give you additional primary weapon damage. Adaptation just for the extra damage resistance, but you shouldn't really need adaptation if you use Mesmer Skin. So definitely replace this with something different if you guys want. For the Arcanes, I have Grace and Guardian. Definitely swap these out if you want to do something different. Okay, so we've seen the vanilla builds that I have without the Helminth system, without the Archon Shards. Now we'll be looking at the Helminth system, but not the Archon Shard builds here. So this Nuke build I have here pretty much is the same as the first Nuke build, except I've replaced my first ability with Gloom. Now the drain rate and energy per enemy is actually pretty little, so you should still retain the amount of energy drained per second and be able to pick up energy orbs easily with the Arcane Energize. And don't forget that I also have energy conversion and growing power, so these type of stats you see right now will pretty much be higher than it is right now unless you're not using growing power or energy conversion. For the Minion build, exactly the same as before, maximizing duration so that way your Enthralls will stay longer. But the thing is, not many people will probably use this ability because the Enthralls would die. There is a small fix of that, and that is the Mind Control. If you use Mind Control on an enemy and then use Enthralls, they will become invulnerable throughout the duration. Unfortunately, there is no room for Mind Freak in this build. As you can see, you definitely want to get maximum duration and as much as ability strength as possible, but maybe you could swap out Augur Secrets with Mind Freak if you do another Forma. Now for the third build for the Helminth system, I do have Archon Shards here, but the major impact on these is not that big, so I'm just going to show you the non-Archon build here. For this build, I am using Reave as the main DPS here, and with the Helminth system abilities, the one that I assumed would be the War here, which increases the damage increase to 100%. So with this build, I'll be able to one-shot Steel Path enemies. Now keep in mind that I have the Mote Augmented here for the extra ability strength, so it does take a while to stack up on that, but once you get that 60% ability strength, you should be able to one-shot. Growing Power for the extra ability strength, Speed Drift for the extra casting speed, can definitely replace this with Power Drift. I do have all these ability strength mods here. Streamline for the extra efficiency, Prime Flow for the extra energy, Continuity for the duration of war, Amar's Hatred for the extra ability strength, or you can replace this with Rolling Guard or Adaptation if need be. Keep in mind that this is a non-Archon build, even though I have equipped Archon Shards. Again, not big of a difference. Now keep in mind I have 150% energy max on the Archon Shards, and an extra 100% effectiveness on energy orbs, so in theory I should get 50 energy per orb. With those Archon Shards installed, I do not need Prime Flow, so the build here is pretty straightforward, except that the DPS has been lost to increase the survivability, because this build is actually made for Steel Path, and when it comes to Steel Path, the damage output is actually pretty decent. Going over the mods, I do have Umbral Vitality instead of Intensify for the survivability. I have Transient Fortitude, but of course the negative duration actually hurts this build. And again, this build is actually made to long-lasting nuking, so I have Continuity here to counteract with that. Then I have Hunter Adrenaline for extra survivability. So this build does not require you to use Mesmer Skin. You can if you want to, but it's not required. And of course this build requires you to use Gloom, so make sure you actually turn this on before turning on your Danse. With this build alone, even though strength is at 185, keep in mind that you have energy conversion for the 50%, growing power for 25%, and a Mote Augment for the extra 60%. I've tested this build on a Steel Path survival mission. It was pretty decent. It's not the best in terms of DPS, but it can be pretty tanky, and of course the nuking potential is pretty good. I would say it take around 3 seconds just to kill a Lancer, but still, again, you are pretty much going to run around dancing. Here is the Archoned build for the minion builds here. It's a little bit different in terms of mods here. I do have motes augmented here for the extra ability strength. The reason I do not have any Archon mods is because there's no point. With the Mesmer skin, you're pretty much not going to be getting hit, so pretty much not going to be running out of shields anytime soon because of the brief respite. So Archon Intensify does not really work here that well. You can replace some of these mods with Archon Intensify if you're not going to be using brief respite. And finally, the last Archon build I have here would be the Reaver build. Again, this is exactly almost the same as the previous build, except that I replaced the speed drift for power drift for extra 15% ability strength. One of the Archon Shards should be a casting speed shard, that way you don't need speed drift no more. For the remaining Archon Shards, add energy, ability strength, or increase the amount of energy you gain when you pick up an energy orb. And that is it for this video. Hopefully this video helps you a little bit on Revenant Prime. When it comes to regular missions, it's absolutely beast. But Steel Path, it seems that Reaver is the main DPS to one-shot enemies. However, if you just want to do some nuking or tanking or some CC, you can definitely do that as well. Thank you for watching. Until next time, peace out.